I'm going to skip all of the big introductions because you know who I am, what I've done, all that stuff. If you're on my list, you know I've been doing this for over 30 years, bought and sold close to 1,000 properties in 12 different states. And I am on the phone doing deals. I love real estate. I love doing these deals. I love being in the trenches doing it. You know, I mean, if I was retired, I'd still be doing real estate, right? Just because I enjoy it. I love it. Candace is out looking at properties today. She's got 3 previews today. She's going out and well, I shouldn't say previews, evaluations. She likes to call it, I call it inspections. But we don't go out and look at a property or send somebody out to look at the property until we get it under contract. And we do that all over the phone. And this is what we're going to be talking about today, okay? This is what we're going to be going over today and sharing with you, okay? So I'm going to do some live Q&A at the end. So there's a box down here for chat and one for Q&A. I don't know which one we ought to use, but use whichever one you want to. I've got them popped up here and I can see it. So, you know, I can see if you guys have messages, if you send me a message or whatever, I'll definitely see it. All right. So we're going to do some live Q&A at the end. All right. So we basically buy and sell houses the same day over the phone. That's what I do. I use Podio and smartphone, SMRT, phone.io. It's like CallRail or CallFire or some of those. And we use that. And all leads go directly into our Podio system. But I use that and I'm on the phone all day. I got a wireless headset, then I'm out walking around the office and I'm talking to people on the phone. And my goal is to get 1 deal a day, 1 deal a day. I'm averaging about 5 deals a week. I got 1 yesterday. I haven't got 1 yet today, but I got 1 yesterday. I did not get 1 on Monday, okay? Some days I get 0, some days I get 3 in a day, right? But that's my goal, is to get a deal a day. All right. We've bought and sold houses over the phone in 12 states from Lake Wiley, right? And we do it all using, I've got a 1 call close script. I call it a set and close. Here's why I call it a set and close, because I don't like to do the sets. In other words, I don't like to call the person and, you know, tell me about your property. You know, how many bedrooms, how many baths, is it rented, is it vacant, how long has it been vacant, if it's got a tenant in it, do they have a lease, are they month to month, how well do they pay, how long they've been there. I don't like going through all that details, okay? Here's what I like to do. I like to have somebody else set for me, and then I get on the phone and make the offer, right? And I've got a guy, Michael. He typically works in the office, but he's working virtual now because of Corona. So he's working virtually. And he is setting, and then when he gets somebody that he says, if I'm not on the phone, he will chat me, and you can do the same thing. He will chat me through instant messenger, and then he will transfer the call to me live, and then he stays on it so I can train him what to do, right? So that's kind of what we do, and we do all this using my 1 call set and close script. Right? I tell people I was doing virtual investing before you'd ever heard of the term virtual investing. I think it was Chris Chico that coined the phrase virtual investing. Well, I tell him all the time, man, I was doing that before you came up with the name, right? So here's the old way we used to virtual invest. The old way that I used to do virtual investing, okay? Phone, fax, FedEx, email, and internet. Phone, fax, FedEx, email, and internet. We don't even use a fax machine anymore. We don't use FedEx anymore. We do everything email and the phone. And with the phone, you can do calls, text, RVM, and use different kind of apps. And then we use the internet, of course, right? Our internet was down on Monday, and we could hardly do anything. We couldn't do anything. Oh, it was Friday of last week. Remember, guys, you must have a system. Without a system, you're just running a hobby. You should write this down. In fact, you should be taking some notes right now. I'm going to try not to keep you on this thing for 2 hours, but I want to go through some really, really, really good content and information here for you, okay? And we did a webinar last week. Many of you were probably on it. We did that webinar last week, and I had a lot of people ask me, you know, if I could kind of go through a presentation, a formal presentation on, you know, what we do and how we do it instead of just showing my deals, because we have like 28 deals in the pipeline now. And we did that last week. Okay, so what if you could share, what if I could share a system to buy and sell houses over the phone and the internet, earning more money than you ever imagined, all from the comfort of your own home? Would you like to hear more? Sure you would. And what if it was a proven system, so simple you could set it up in a few hours and you could close your first deal in the next 30 to 45 days or less? And what if I guaranteed you could do it all for free? Who likes free, right? So free is for me. I like that saying. Free is for me, right? So what is real estate day trading? It's buying and selling houses the same day over the phone and the internet, right? Over the phone and the internet in hidden markets with virtually no competition. Now, Alex just made a comment here. He said, obviously, to accomplish that, you would need a list of cash buyers waiting to buy. No, that is not true, Alex. That is not true at all. Everybody tells you that the money's in the buyer's list. And yes, that is true to a certain extent. But I got to tell you, the vast majority of our properties sell to people who never met me the week before they found my property, right? The vast majority, and I'm going to go through that as well. So I'm glad you brought that up, Alex, right? What percentage of my deals close? Great question, Tico. 50% roughly. 50, maybe 60% of the deals actually close. So my goal is to get 20 deals a month under contract and close 10 of them. Our average profit right now is about $18,000, 18.5, 18.9, somewhere around there. We just had 3 closings last Friday. We have 1 closing scheduled already for this Friday. We may have another one coming up for Friday. We've got 2 contracts out to sell properties, and we always try to close on Fridays, right? So that's a great question too, Tico. What percentage of my deals close, right? And what does my conversation with the seller sound like? Man, that's a whole nother webinar right there. But I've got a 1-call set and close script, and it allows you to build rapport, find out property conditions and motivation, and then make your offer on the same call. All right, so remember, guys, you are just 1 phone call away. Just 1 phone call away, all right? So, guys, keep the comments and questions coming. I'm gonna probably try to skip through them right now, and then I'll come back and answer them. So as you think of them, you know, put them in the chat if you want to, or if you want to, if it's a specific question, then you could probably put that in the Q&A as well. So that way, even afterwards, I can answer that for you. So let me show you a typical deal. This is a deal we did in Kingstown, North Carolina. Think about it, Kingstown. You ever heard of that? No, it's small town USA, okay? Small town USA. We bought this property. My original price was $17,000, and I renegotiated it down to 11, and then I sold it for $29,900. I made $18,900 on this little brick ranch house. Okay. Our average profit is around $18,500. Typically ranges from $10,000 to $35,000 per trade, per day trade, right? And we're just buying and selling them the same day, right? Okay. All done over the phone and internet with no rehab, no cash, and no buyer's list, Alex. No buyer's list. Now, we now buy and sell about 7 to 15 houses a month without rehabbing them or looking at them. Somebody goes to look at them. I don't have to go look at them, right? Candace might go look at it. Andrew, yes, there is a presentation. Can everybody still see my presentation? Can everybody still see it? Good. Thank you. I'm not sure why you're not seeing it, but there is a PowerPoint there, and you should be able to see it if you are on Zoom and didn't just call in. Okay, so I don't go personally look at. Now, sometimes I enjoy what we call field days. Candace and I go out and do field days, right? She likes that, and she enjoys it. That's a part of what she likes to do. I enjoy being on the phone and buying properties. So we structured our business so we can both do what we enjoy, right? She likes doing field days. She likes going out, and sometimes she and I do it together. Um, and and that usually works out pretty good. Not last week, but the week before last, we went out and looked at like 4 properties in one day that I had gotten under contract. And while we were at 2 of them, the somebody drove up, and while she was taking pictures, I was talking to the person, and we ended up selling one of those properties to one of the people that pulled up, right? So you never know what's going to happen when you go out there and see these properties, okay? Now, real estate day trading is totally recession proof. I got to tell you, everybody right now is on lockdown. I shouldn't say everybody, but a lot of people are. They're on lockdown, and they're working from home, or some people don't have a job. A lot of people don't have a job. But I got to tell you, there's a few tweaks you can make in your business that you can still do this business. We are still going like gangbusters. I mean, I'm still getting an average of a deal a day, 5 deals a week. And, we're selling our properties now. Occasionally, like I think we have 2 deals right now that are on hold because, number one, the seller doesn't want anybody in their house, which, by the way, we're marketing less and less to owner-occupied sellers and more to vacant or landlord type sellers. So that's another thing you can do to avoid that. The second thing is we can do it virtually. There's many different ways that you can inspect a property. You can have the seller take pictures. You can even pay the seller to take pictures. You can have the seller get on Zoom and walk around. They can get on Zoom on their phone, walk around. Hey, what's that on the ceiling? Look at that. Let me see a closer look at that, right? So there's a lot of ways you can do that. If they're not tech savvy, show up to their house with a mask and gloves and hand them an iPad that you just wipe down with an alcohol wipe, and have the camera open and tell them to walk through and take pictures if they're not tech savvy. See, so there's many, many different ways you can do that. And you can sell houses and show houses the same way. You could go through a house and do a Zoom and have all your buyers, or people who are interested after you market it, say, I'm going to do a Zoom, this Friday at 4:00, and then have all of them get on that, whether they're already on your buyers list or they're fresh buyers that you just found from marketing the property. Okay, so today we're going to go through buying and selling properties in 2 hours, how to automate your business and make money automagically, how to use OPE or other people's efforts, and I'm going to show you how to get my real estate day trading mastery for free. So I guarantee you're going to learn some things about this that you never knew existed. Step number 1 is pick a market. Write this down. Step number 1, pick a market, okay? Pick a market. Now, when do you need to pick a market? You want to make real estate day trading easy on yourself. Now, I'm not saying you cannot do this in LA, San Diego, Orlando, Las Vegas. There's many, many, many people that buy and sell properties like that in those areas. But if you've got to pick a market, right? If you're in a market that's tough and you're brand new, I suggest it's easier to find an easier market, okay? So there's a lot of different things, a lot of criteria, and we're going to go through some of that. So you want to go where the deals are and there's not as much competition if that's not where you live. If I lived in Orange County, California, or Southern California, or the Bay Area of San Francisco, there's no way I would wholesale there. Right? I'd be wholesaling in Tennessee or Alabama or Arkansas or Ohio or Pennsylvania, some of those areas, right? Some of those areas and markets. So I just happen to live in an area. I'm in the Charlotte, North Carolina MSA, right? The MSA is Metropolitan Statistical Area, right? So I'm in that area. And it's been years since I've bought a house in Charlotte. I like to go about 2 counties out, okay? I like to go about 2 counties. I got a whole separate training called Small Town Profits. It's just about the small town, okay? But I like to go a couple of counties out and where people were born and raised and have ties to the communities and they have cash. And I also like the cheaper houses as well, because it's much easier to sell a $30,000 house for cash than it is a $300,000 house for cash, right? Now, how to pick a market. Guys, I have 13 different criteria for picking a market, all right? Let me look at a few here. Demographics. Some of the demographics we look at are the housing price index. I personally like markets where the median price home is around 100,000, give or take. If the median price home is 250, that's not my market, okay? Me personally. Now, can you day trade in other markets? Yes, but if you remember a few slides back, I said make it easy on yourself. It doesn't mean you cannot day trade houses in LA or Las Vegas. I said make it easy on yourself, okay? So I like the lower price markets, okay? The lower price markets, okay? Now, population by MSA. If you look at the MSA, you want an MSA that has at least 1 million plus population. MSA is Metropolitan Statistical Area, okay? Metropolitan Statistical Area. So you want an MSA with at least 1 million, but then you're going to go just outside that MSA, a couple of counties, okay? You also want population, as I mentioned, you want flat appreciation. What does that mean? Think about this. In LA or Southern California or San Francisco or Las Vegas, when prices go up, they go like this, right? When they go down, they go like this. You want appreciation when it goes up, it goes like this. When it goes down, it goes like this, okay? Those are the kind of areas of market you want. You want older cities. For example, you're not gonna find a whole lot of houses built in 1920, 1930, 1940 in Las Vegas. You're not going to find a lot of those in Orlando, Florida. You're not going to find a lot of those in Denver, Colorado, okay? So, or Phoenix. That's just not going to happen. I like older cities where you got older inventory and there's a lot of rental properties, okay? So, it's not just about the market. It's also the property type, the price range, and the seller demographic. All right, which means the lower price stuff. Lower price means more rental properties. Older properties means there's more inventory and more properties that need work, okay? Remember, the goal is to make it easier on yourself. I'm not saying you can't do it in Phoenix or Scottsdale or anywhere, any of those other areas. I'm just saying the goal is to make it easy on yourself, which, by the way, I'll never tell you real estate is easy. It's not easy. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it, right? Okay, let's see here. Just don't get caught up in paralysis of analysis, right? So many people, they just get caught up in paralysis of analysis. One thing I tell people up front is when you're picking a market, if you don't live in a desirable market, what I tell people is, do you have an area, a city, a state, whatever, that is applicable to what we're talking about, that maybe you have relatives, right? So you could go there, like say you lived in Phoenix, but you have relatives in Memphis, Tennessee. Well, maybe you want to go to Memphis, Tennessee and go out a couple counties. Memphis is in Shelby County, and go out a couple of counties, right? And then when you go visit relatives, if you go visit your family, then it's a business trip because you're looking at property, looking at market and that sort of thing, right? So as I mentioned, just don't get caught up in paralysis of analysis. That's very, very important, all right? Now, step number 2, after pick a market, is build your team. Now, if you live in, let's say, Huntsville, Alabama, and you're going to buy in Huntsville, Alabama, a couple of counties out, you don't really need to build your team. You can do it by yourself starting out. But if you're in Phoenix and you're buying in Huntsville, Alabama, you're going to need some boots on the ground, right? You're going to need some boots on the ground. You're also going to need an attorney or title company, depending on the state, like Florida's title companies, North and South Carolina use attorneys. Some states use both, right? And you may need transactional funding, okay? You may need transactional funding, all right? You may need that. I don't, it just depends on if you can do a double closing or you can do all assignments. We do assignments on the vast majority of our deals, okay? The vast majority of them. I do have, occasionally we'll do a double closing, but we have our attorney, and you're gonna wanna write this down. We have our attorney prepare what we call a blind HUD. What does blind HUD mean? That means it's the same HUD, but they prepare a different one for the seller and a different one for the buyer. And the buyer's information is not on the seller's HUD, and the seller's information is not on the buyer's HUD. So in other words, now my buyer knows what I'm going to make, because we say we have this proper on our assignment, we have this under contract for X. We're selling it to you for X. Our assignment fee is X. So my buyer knows, but the vast majority of the time, if there's going to be an issue, it's your seller that's going to have the issue with it, okay? Because a lot of your buyers are going to be landlords and fix and flip investors, sometimes owner-occupant buyers as well, okay? So you're going to need some boots on the ground. You're going to need some boots on the ground if you're not buying in your own local market, okay? So here's why you need some boots on the ground. You need them to put out I buy houses signs, those bandit signs, if you're going to use bandit signs. You need them to put out for sale signs, all right? And we have these special for sale signs. They don't just say for sale. It says handyman special, and it says blank bed, blank bath, and then it says worth blank, cash price blank, right? And then it has the phone number and it has an arrow. And we put out about 25 of those. Alex, you'll like this. We put out about 25 of those for every single property. The phone rings off the hook, okay? The phone rings off the hook, and they have an arrow on them so nobody can find the house, right? Because we don't put one in the front yard of the house. We put them at intersections, convenience stores, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, all around town, but nobody can find the house, so they have to call, right? So also, your boots on the ground is going to put your lockbox on the door. And we have really, really inexpensive lock boxes. They cost like $7 or $8 a piece. I forget exactly where we get them. It's in my training. But we put a lock box on the door so we can show the properties, or we don't have to show the property. Sometimes you'll need boots on the ground to meet people there, to get the keys, to look at it, to do the inspection, to take pictures of properties, and be your local point of contact. And your boots on the ground could be an investor wannabe, a trainee, an apprentice, or it could also be somebody you find on Craigslist or on Facebook, and you just pay them by the deal or by the closing or whatever. Yeah, Gabriel, you need somebody to show the properties. If the property is occupied, right? But here's the deal. If the property's vacant, we put a lockbox on it, okay? And we make a list of everybody that goes out. We tell them, hey, the neighbors all know that there's going to be people coming over here, but they're going to keep a watch out for it. So make sure you put the key back in the lockbox and lock it all up, okay? They'll know who the last one was here. If the property's occupied, we get enough pictures where we don't have to show it. We get pictures, we do a walkthrough video, so we can literally sell a house that is occupied without our buyer having to go look at it, okay? But remember, with my deals and what I recommend to make it easy on you, you're gonna wanna buy properties under $100,000. It's hard to sell somebody a $300,000 house without them physically walking the house. But it's very easy to sell a $30,000 house without them walking the house. Albany, Georgia. Yeah, Mario, I've bought lots of properties in Albany, Georgia. That's a good market. It's a very good market to day trade in. Okay, so step number 3 is learn to analyze. Now I'm going to go over some things right here, right? I'm going to go over some things right here that is going to help you to be able to buy more properties, because everybody talks about, you know, if you're buying or you're wholesaling or whatever, ARV times 0.70 minus repairs, minus what you want to make. I'm going to show you multiple ways to analyze a deal, okay? So you want to analyze your deal to ensure profits. We're not just buying and selling deep discounted houses like every other wholesaler. We have multiple strategies to maximize your profits and get more deals. We got fix and flip analysis, rentals. We have owner-occupied cash buyers. We have mobile homes with land. We buy mobile homes in parks, 100% financing, vacant lots and land. And I'm going to show you some of that as well. Here's our fix and flip analyzer. It's very simple. You plug in your ARV, you plug in your amount of repairs, and boom, it tells you exactly how much you can pay for this property. Okay. Oh, you got to plug in how much you want to make, right? Like in this case, ARV is 100, right? Repairs are 15. We want to make 10. We can offer 44,000. So my first offer is going to be around 38.5. Okay. So I want to start below what I can actually pay. Fix and flip hotel deals, you just change 70 to 80. That's all you got to do. A hotel deal is a property that you want to, it's a decent property in a decent area, and it doesn't need a lot of work. It's not a total rehab. So you're able to, you're able to put it on the MLS and sell it just below retail. It's more than a wholesale deal that an investor would pay, but it's below retail, so it sells pretty quick, right? Okay, I'm seeing a lot of really good questions come in, guys. That's awesome. I'm going to stick around and I'm going to answer them. We're going to get through all this content, and I'm going to stick around and answer your questions, okay? These are really good questions. I want to answer them right now. Okay, so rental analyzer. When I'm on the phone with a seller, okay, I always tell my seller, hey, you got a rental property, it's bringing in $500 a month, I can pay you $25,000 minus repairs. If it's bringing in $1,000 a month, you know, I can pay you $50,000 minus repairs. So I base mine on 2%, right? This says rental analyzer at 1.5% per month. You can change that and put whatever you want to in it. Put whatever you want to. Now, if you can't get them to accept your offer, right? They're here and you're here and you've got a gap in what you can pay for this property, then you offer to pay their price with 100% seller financing. We do this all the time. I shouldn't say all the time. We get probably a deal every month or a deal every other month, something like that. I've got one deal right now that I really needed to be at $5,000 cash for the property. It was a little brick ranch house, but it was gutted down to the wall studs and needed a total rehab. It wasn't in a great area, and the guy wanted 10 grand. We actually got it under contract for 10 grand. We went out and looked at it, and we decided, nah, we could probably sell this one for 15 cash or maybe 20 if we got owner financing. So I went back to him. I said, look, I can do one of two things. I can give you $5,000 cash, or I can give you the $10,000 we agreed on if you'll owner finance it. And I got the payments below $200 a month. It was like $120 something a month, right? So we've got it sold now already for $19,900 with $10,000 down. We're just going to do an assignment. That's it, right? So it's very simple. Then what you do is you day trade this deal and keep the down payment for yourself, just like I just explained, right? Just like I just explained. I got a house locked up for $10,000 with owner financing, no money down, and I sold it for $20,000 with $10,000 down, and my buyer is going to make payments to the seller that's owner financing, right? So it's just a great way to do more deals and pay what they're asking for the property. Now, what about vacant lots? Guys, you can make really, really, really good money on these little vacant lots. Now, you're not going to get a lot of them, but you're going to get a few, right? What I do is anytime I have a seller on the phone that either has a vacant lot or they say they have a house, but the house needs to be torn down. So those are the best ones right there, because I tell them, look, nobody really wants to buy an old lot in an old established neighborhood. Nobody's going to build a new house there, right? And if it has a house on it that's a tear down, you're going to have to spend 5 to 10 grand just to tear that house down. And then you've got a lot that's worth $5,000 to $10,000. So I guarantee you, you probably only ever think about this lot around tax time, right? So what I can do is I can pay you about 3 times the annual taxes. Your taxes are $100, I'll pay you 300. 150, I'll pay you 450, right? So I usually buy these for around $300 to $500. And my set and close script, if it's a lot, we know exactly what to say. I bought a lot one time in about 6 minutes on the phone. 6 minutes on the phone, because I say up front, oh, it's a lot. Let me tell you, I can't really pay a whole lot for it. There's really no way for me to increase the value. And it is what it is. I don't have any way to fix it up and sell it. I might have to sit on it for 2 or 3 years. Unfortunately, they're not worth a whole lot because people don't really build on these lots. I can probably give you a few $100s for it cash if you want. You don't have to worry about paying the taxes anymore, and you'll be done. What's your email address? And I got a 1-page simple standard offer to purchase, and I'll send it out to you. That's pretty much the script right there for the lots, right? That's pretty much the script. All right. Oh, a while back, I forgot this was in here. A while back, I was talking to a lady. She lived out of state, and I gave her that same spiel I just told you. And she said, I'm sure the house is torn down by now. So I got the house under contract for $300. This is the house right here. I walked through it. The roof doesn't leak. It's got a full basement. $300. Can you believe that? It's got a house on it. I couldn't believe it. And she said, I'm never coming back there. I'm never coming back there. $300, right? Seller hadn't seen the property in 10 years and said she thought it was a lot only by now. They live out of state, said they were never coming back. Yep. So analyze deals to ensure profits. All of these strategies can be done with my simple one called close script. Now, let's look at step number 4, all right? Generate motivated, closable leads. A lot of people are out there trying to generate leads online, but it's same old rehash stuff, okay? You got to generate closable leads. This is what 92% of investors struggle with the most. Now, remember, real estate is a numbers game. The more leads you get, the more deals you get, period. It's literally that simple, okay? The more deals you get, the more money you make. That's it. That's it. So in my real estate day trading mastery, I've got 76 ways to make the phone ring with motivated, qualified seller leads, okay? I'm going to go through a few of them right now. Direct mail. A lot of people do direct mail. I still do direct mail. I still do it. I still like it. Makes the phone ring. I like to make the phone ring, right? Because quite frankly, a lot of our people who we buy houses from, a lot of them don't even have an email address. They don't have a Facebook account. They're not online. You can't get on Facebook and market to our sellers. You can't get on Craigslist and market to our sellers, right? They're not online. So you have to reach out to them through direct mail, right? Or some other means like radio and stuff like that, right? So, so you want to choose your list criteria. You want to choose your postcard, what kind of card you're going to mail out. You want to choose a mail house, who's going to send out your card. And then you want to track your response rate. Know what, if I mail out 1,000 cards, I'm going to get 2% or 4% response or whatever. It's not just the response rate though. It's not only the response rate, but it's also the conversion, because you might get a postcard that gets a 10% response rate, but nobody wants to sell their house. They're all like, take me off your list. Don't ever email me, or don't ever mail me anymore, or whatever, right? And you've got to commit to at least 3 to 4 months if you're doing direct mail. 3 to 4 months, you've got to commit to at least that, okay? By the way, guys, are you guys getting a lot out of this? Show me here in the chat if you guys are getting a lot out of this. You enjoying this? You like it? We got 158 people on here today. Yes, 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 yes. Always do. Awesome. Yes, love it. Yes, like it, like it. That's great. That's great. Yes, thank you. Shamrotty's on here. What's up? All right, let's see here. Yeah. Yep, good. Thank you for the feedback. I appreciate it. I need that validation. All right. So here's the thing. Mail a different postcard each month. I use 4 different ones, and you're going to get them in the Day Trading Mastery. If you already have that training, it's in there, right? And I have a very specific list criteria. There's such a thing called list stacking, right? In other words, you start out with a wide list and narrow it down. And all you're really looking for is what's called pain points. Let's say you first look for a property that's a non-owner occupied. In other words, they own a property here, but they live somewhere else, okay? That's a potential seller, okay? Now, if you look at this, but that potential seller also has back taxes owed, then that's another pain point. If they also have a lien on the property, that's another pain point, right? If they also have code violations, that's another pain point. If they also have an arrest record, that's another pain point, right? So there's many different pain points, and that's called list stacking. So if you have somebody that has 4 pain points, that's a lot more likely of a lead that's going to sell the property, right? So you want to look for those different criteria. Now, I basically, for those of you that have the Real Estate Day Trading Mastery, you already know this, but we've got a done for you direct mail process that uses my list criteria, and my postcards already set up the same postcards that I send out, and the list category as well. It's literally just plug and play. You just tell them either your zip codes or the counties you want to mail and your budget, and they'll do the rest. It's just done for you. Just keeps it simple, makes it simple to you, because I don't like complicated stuff. I don't like having to deal with all the mail houses and the postcards and this and that. I just want to make it simple for you, right? So another way we generate leads is telemarketing, okay? Telemarketing. Number one, you want to append your done for you direct mail list. In other words, you're going to skip trace it and get the phone number and email address if you can. Then you're going to use an automated dialer, right? Something like Mojo Sales, Mojo, MOJOSELLS.com, or Smartphone has a dialer as well. There's some other ones out there. I think Vulcan is another dialer. So you can do it yourself, or you can hire a VA to do it. If you've got my script, all you need to do is put a VA on it and let them do it, okay? Now, step number 5 is to go negotiate and make offers. This is where you make your money, guys, okay? This is where you make your money. A lot of people say, where did you find that deal? Remember this, deals are made, not found. My standard answer, if somebody says, where did you find that deal? My standard answer is, when I found it, it wasn't a deal. I negotiated that deal and sometimes renegotiated that deal to make it even better, okay? Remember with leads, the older they get, the colder they get, and you can't steal in slow motion. Very important. You cannot steal in slow motion. You've got to make those offers. Make those offers right away. That's why we make our first offer on our first phone call. The very first phone call, we're making an offer. See, the reason a lot of investors aren't successful and don't get deals is because somebody will call, and they'll gather the property information and say, well, let me do a little bit of research and I'll call you back. No, you want to get your first offer out there on the first phone call. So the callback is after they've thought about it or talked it over or prayed about it or whatever it is they want to do. Then your second call is to see if they're going to sell you the property, right? And even if they say no, that's when you can say, well, would you consider, if I could pay your price, would you consider seller financing? And that's in the script too, okay? But remember with leads, the older they get, the colder they get. But I want to give you another little tip here. Even though leads, the older they get, the colder they get, once you start doing your marketing and filling your database with all these sellers, you're going to find that these sellers come out of the woodwork later on. I've been doing this for a while now. I used to buy all my houses off of HUD and the MLS, but when the market turned, I had to go to direct to seller, right? So, and the market will come back where we'll be buying mostly off of HUD and the MLS, but right now it's mostly direct to seller. Okay, that's just the way the market is. The markets go up and they go down. Remember, trees don't grow to the sky. Okay, markets go up, markets go down. But you're going to find after you've been marketing for a while, deals come back around, and they'll call you back 6 months or a year later. Hey, I still have this house. Are you still interested in buying it? Right? Now, here's 4 ways to make risk-free offers. Number 1 is phone. Number 2, you can email your offer. Number 3, you can text your offer to people. I text an offer to somebody today. Number 4, you can mail it, snail mail it, put a letter in the mail, okay? We had a guy, I just told Marcia is our closing manager. I just told her earlier today, we have a guy that we sent out a contract via right signature. I don't know if he can't open it or if he's not seeing it or can't do it or whatever, but I told her just go ahead and mail it to him, right? So we mail out offers too. So phone, email, text, and snail mail your offers, okay? We do not go to their house like every other investor until we get it tied up and have it under contract. Unless on the rare occasion, I shouldn't say rare, it's probably 20% of the time, we take the contract with us after we've already agreed to the price, and we get them to sign it at the same time we're looking at the property and evaluating the property. But we've already agreed to the price. It's not an appointment to talk about buying the property. It's an appointment to evaluate the property after we've already agreed to a price, okay? And on those rare occasions, we will take the contract with us, or Candace will, or whoever goes to look at it, okay? So remember, make your first offer on the first phone call. Here's all you need to do that. You need to know the amount of repairs, the after repaired value, the rents if it's rented, and the seller motivation. What is their motivation? And you want to be talking about that motivation. If they want to, sell their house and move to Texas to be close to the grandkids, you're going to bring that up. You're going to talk about that. Really, that's a great reason right there. That's awesome. Now, how old are your grandkids? How many of them do you have, right? How long has it been since you've seen them? Wow, I bet you'll be able to spend time with them almost every day, won't you? That's great. That's great. So see, you're going to get them thinking in the future. You're going to future cast them, right? So how soon did you want to get your house sold and get out there to those grandkids, right? So you got to think about stuff like that. But the most important thing you need is my 1-call set and close script, okay? You can get deep discounted offers accepted in 10 to 15 minutes over the phone. Most of my phone calls are about 10 to 15 minutes, sometimes less than 10, sometimes 15 to 20 minutes, but for the most part, they're about 10 to 15 minutes on the phone. Now, you can also make an offer, as I mentioned earlier, on the first phone call, discount for cash or 100% seller financing, right? And all you have to do is read the script. That's all you have to do. It takes the thinking out of it. Just read the script, okay? That's all you got to do. Oh, you're going to hear me do it live? Yeah, those of you who have the Real Estate Day Trading Mastery, all of our calls are recorded. And what I do is when I have a call that I feel like is a really good learning, a really good tutorial, like, this is why I did this, this is why I did that, and it's a really good learning tool, I put that in the training, and you'll hear that in the training as well. So we have a lot of calls, with sellers and renegotiating and seller financing and all that as well. So you hear all those different kind of calls. Now, renegotiating. We renegotiate a portion of our deals, not all of them, probably not half of them, I don't think. But it's a very simple 5 to 10 minute phone call, and you'll hear me if you have the course, you've already heard it. It's going to increase your profits by 30 to 50%. I've negotiated deals that I remember one a while back, I had under contract for $75,000. I renegotiated it down to $50,000. right? Down to 50,000. And then we ended up selling it for 75, I believe. Um, it's a simple 5 to 10 minute phone call, and you know, it's very, very simple. It's not complicated, and you'll hear me do it and see how simple it is. And it's not a big deal. You just it's not like, I don't want you guys to get the impression that, you know, I am a hammer closer with these people. I'm making them sign the contract. I'm making them take my offer. It's not that at all. If anything, it's the total opposite. Now, some of you are nervous about getting on the phone. It's okay. It's okay to be nervous, okay? It's okay to be nervous. But don't think, I got to get this deal. I got to get this deal. No, you got to get a good deal, okay? You got to get a good deal. But the most important thing is you want to do the takeaway. You know, hey, look, you know, I'm not trying to make a killing on every property, but I got to make a little something. You understand that. So, you know, if the numbers don't work for you, it's not a big deal. We can part friends, but if you can make the numbers work, then we'll make it as simple and smooth a process as possible, and we'll pay all the closing costs and we'll handle all the details. All you got to do is show up and sign and get your money. That's it, right? Which is what you want, isn't it? Right? So that's all we really do. We just try to keep it simple, and I don't hammer people. I don't try to force them to do it. I don't try to close them, be a hammer closer, you know, but that is a part of being a hammer closer, is doing the takeaway. Right? Hey, if it's not for you, it's no big deal. We'll part friends, right? Okay, step number 6 is to sign the contract. I've got a 1-page offer to purchase, right? Check this out. You're going to love this. My 1-page contract has a 60-day closing. It does not have a closing date. It has a 60-day closing. It says we're going to close sometime within 60 days. Now, I want to let you know, right now, with everything going on with the coronavirus, people understand this. I've used this opportunity to change my 60-day contract to 90 days with an automatic 30-day extension, okay? So before I had 60 days with an automatic 30-day, I had 3 months. Now I have 4 months because of this pandemic, right? And people get it. They understand. They know closing attorneys or title companies are on short staff, skeleton crew. You know, some courthouses are closed. You can't do title searches or record deeds. So they know, and there might be a little bit of delay, right? And I tell them, hey, I just don't want to have to come in and ask for an extension or whatever. So we're going to close as soon as we can, but I put this in here for a purpose so we don't have to keep going back and forth and get an extension signed if we need it, right? So there's also no inspection period on my contract. Can you believe that? I send out a contract with no due diligence or inspection period. My contract also, whether you do cash or seller financing, it has seller financing terms in it if you are buying with seller financing. So you only need one contract. You don't need another contract or an addendum or anything like that. The buyer can market it prior to closing. That's in the contract. And I can even put their property on the MLS before we close. It says it in my contract. And there's also a signing deadline. Like if I want them to sign it by 5 o'clock tomorrow, or the contract is null and void, that's in there. And there's many, many more things in my 1-page offer. Here's what I tell the seller, okay? Guys, you should write this down. If once I make an offer, I say, look, here's the process. And you want to let people know your process. You want to let people know what to expect, okay? It's called setting expectations. Once I give them a price, I say, look, I have a simple, standard, 1-page real estate offer to purchase. Now, notice how I said that. I have a simple, standard, 1-page real estate offer to purchase that basically says I'm buying your property as is where is, and I'm paying you all cash, and I'm paying closing costs, and there are no commissions. Do you have an email address? That's my close. That's my close. Do you have an email address? Great. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have Marsha send this out to you. We have this thing called Right Signature. It's like DocuSign. She's going to send it to you. Will you be in front of your computer in the next hour? Good. I'm going to have her send that out right now. She'll be able to get that to you. All you got to do is click here, click there, and boom, we're done. It'll send you a copy and send me a copy. And then we can get out there and take a look at the property in the next few days and move forward and get you your money as soon as possible. How does that sound? What's your email address? That's it. That's the close, guys, right? It's as simple as that. Now, you want to have them sign the contract within 2 hours. If they don't have an email address, we're either going to take it to them or we're going to send a mobile notary out there, a mobile notary. And we use a mobile notary. They're going to cost you about $75, but it's worth it if they can go to the house and get the docs signed within 2 hours. So you got that deal locked up and you know it's locked up, right? Before they have a chance to talk to their son, talk to the daughter, talk to the parent, talk to the grandparent, you know, whatever it is. You know, you want to get it locked up in 2 hours, okay? So step number 7 is due diligence. Let me get a drink of water. By the way, is this good? You guys getting a lot out of this? Still? What? I'm getting no response. Awesome. Okay, here we go. Good. Awesome. Thank you. I need the validation. Okay. Now, step number 7 is due diligence. Step number 7 is due diligence. Due diligence, we're going to get pictures. We're going to get online sold comps, not for sale, sold comps, okay? Neighborhood analysis. We want to find out what's going on in the neighborhood. Does it look like a rental area? Is it a fix and flip area? That sort of thing. Is it a double wide, a single wide, right? So, and rent comps. We're going to find rent comps. You can get rent comps at Zillow. You can get rent comps by looking up properties for rent in that town on Craigslist. You could go to Rent Range, Rent-O-Meter. There's many more of them in the course, as you guys who own the course know, right? So that's some of the due diligence. Now, here's some due diligence we do after the contract. Get somebody to take the pictures. If you don't have a boots on the ground yet, you can get somebody at BPO Photo Flow, WeGoLook.com, or your boots on the ground person, right? Any one of those will work, right? Now, how to find comps. Guys, I use the one at the top. I use Zillow. It's free. I don't need MLS access. I just use Zillow. That's it. I use Zillow. Now, do I have some of these others? Yeah, I got some. I don't have local MLS access, right? But I just use Zillow. It literally is that simple. I just use Zillow. Now, we've got another source called CRS Data. Courthouse Retrieval System. That's what CRS stands for, Courthouse Retrieval System. And there's other sources out there as well. Another good one is PropStream. You can not only pull your list, but you can also pull comps on PropStream as well. So that's another source as well. So how to find rent comps? Like I mentioned, Zillow, Rent Range, Rent-O-Meter, Craigslist, a local agent or a local property manager, right? Why am I performing due diligence after the property? Yeah, we're going to go over that. All right, neighborhood crime. You want to look at if you're not familiar with the area, you want to look at the crime. If you're not familiar, but I got to tell you, if you do what I said in step number 1, picking a market, and you take the MSA and you go a couple of counties out to the smaller towns, you don't even have to worry about picking a market. You don't have to worry about the crime because there's hardly any crime in small town USA. It's all in the major MSAs, okay? Step number 8 is to sell it fast. Sell it fast, right? Now, Alex mentioned a while ago at the beginning, you know, you got to have a buyer's list. We use every property to build our buyer's list. Every property to build our buyer's list. Every buyer that comes in may not buy that particular house. Well, I know every buyer's not going to because you only need one buyer. But all the buyers that come in, they go on the buyer's list. So you have people to market to all your future deals, right? So they all help build your buyer's list, right? Please repeat the neighborhood analysis. Right there it is. Trulia, Crime Report, Spot Crime, Zip Skinny, and Neighborhood Scout. But you really don't even have to worry about it if you're buying in small towns, okay? So here's a few ways we market our properties. I've got a specific marketing plan that we go through on every single one of our properties, okay? We put out bandit signs if we're seller financing the property. We put out seller financing signs, you know, flyers to the RIA group, flyers at meetup groups, email your buyers list, text your buyers list, voice blast your buyers list, post Craigslist ads. You can post ads on Facebook, Google, put it on your website, post it on your Facebook page, Facebook groups, Facebook Marketplace, LinkedIn, Zillow, Realtor.com, direct mail nearby other investors that have bought properties in the last year, and then email your realtors and printed newspaper and text and voice blast realtors. Guys, that right there will sell any and every property without a buyer's list. And I got to tell you, I don't even use all these. I don't even use all these methods, right? But if you're nervous about it, you want to make sure you can find a buyer of the property, all these right here you can do, right? Look at this. This is a property that we had on Facebook. I had 8,475 views in one day. One day. We bought this property for, I believe it was either $10,000 or $15,000. And a little brick house in a great neighborhood. We sold it for $29,900. I see now I sold it for too low, because look at the views right there. See where it says $29,900? Look right beside it. It says viewed by 8,475 people in a day. And notice the top left of that portion right above the $29,900 in red, it says pending. This property was under contract within one day of putting it on Facebook. One day of, and in this house, when you go in this house, the floors were falling in. You could see the dirt. It was caving in. I mean, this house needed a lot of work, okay? Remember, in today's market, you got to have a motivated seller and a motivated buyer database. Maximize your motivated database and your time. And you want to email blast them, text broadcast them, RVM them. We send out 1 or 2 emails a week about our properties, right? Our properties go on a website, and we send out an email. We send out a text blast for our properties every single week, our newest properties that we get, right? And this is our sign that we put out. This is my best lead generating sign. I have several others that I use, that I like to use as well, because you want to change it up every once in a while. So, but this is one that I really like. The one in your training, I believe, is a little bit different than this. It's an updated one, but you get the idea here. This is another sign that we use, foreclosure sign with the arrow. Here's another one that we use, owner financing. If we've negotiated 100% owner financing, right? We put out about 25 aimed in different directions, right? So let's talk about the earnest money. We typically pay, right? We typically pay out about $100, I shouldn't say about, it's exactly $100 deposit on all of our contracts. And we collect the $1,000 deposit when we sell the property. So we're actually collecting 10 times what we pay. Now, a lot of people, a lot of you guys may be thinking, you know, well, they're not gonna, you can get it tied up for $100. Yeah, absolutely. It's very rare somebody says, oh, I want a more deposit. If they do, here's what we say. Look, what's more important to you? Having a few more dollars as a deposit, or working with somebody that can actually close and get you all your money at closing? What's more important, right? So, you know, that pretty much shuts them up, right? Because you get people that are on the phone that have worked with other people that will tie their property up, and then they don't perform, they don't close, they can't sell it or whatever. So, you know, it's a great opportunity to tell them, look, what's more important? A few more dollars in deposit, or actually closing on the deal and getting all your money, right? All right, so let's see here. Step number 9. Step number 9, close and get paid. Yeah, baby. So the closing process and getting paid. You want to send your contracts and assignments to the title company, a title company or attorney. Clear the title. What do I mean by that? Occasionally you're going to have like, well, Uncle Bob has to sign, or there's heirs on the property, meaning there's several brothers and sisters that inherited the property. All of them have to sign. Your title company or attorney will help you with that. They'll help tell you who has to sign. You just might need to get up with the seller and say, hey, your aunt, your uncle, your cousin's going to have to sign. I need their contact info so the attorney can send them what they need, right? So, and then you're going to give your closing agent, you know, the attorney or title company, a limited power of attorney to sign for you. We don't go to any closings. We don't attend the closings. We don't go to closings, right? Then you close and get paid. It's all one transaction, right? So what do you do when you can't assign the contract? You do an assignment of beneficial interest using a trust. You create a corporation or LLC and sell shares. You do a simultaneous closing. You use All Real Estate Solutions Title Company. They're very familiar with this, and they'll let you do A to B to C. If you're not familiar with that, unfortunately, I don't have time to get into that. But they do A to B to C, where you can use your buyer's money to pay your seller. Pro Title USA also, and always get insurance if you own the property overnight, and always, always, always get title insurance, okay? Now, by the way, back here on these ways, if you can't assign the contract, guys, it's very rare you're going to have to even use this. Very, very rare, okay? But if you do, if you do have to come up with the money and you cannot assign the contract, then you can still use transactional funding, okay? And you can even use transactional funding on deals like HUD houses or MLS houses, foreclosed houses, right, that are listed through a realtor. Transactional funding is 24-hour funding used for the same day closing, and they're typically going to charge you about 1 to 3% of the loan amount, right? And they will have a minimum, right? They will have a minimum. So, I mean, let's say if you need a $25,000 loan, they might have a $3,000 minimum, right? Possibly. So you need a good source of transactional funding to close your non-assignable deals. I put together this transactional funding lenders directory. It's a complete list of the nation's transactional funding lenders. You can also use your tax advantage account or somebody else's. You know, we have a lot of students that work with people with self-directed IRAs, and they use their self-directed IRA to fund the deal, and the student gives them a portion of the profits, right? If you're going to use an IRA, and maybe the IRA is going to borrow some money and put up some cash, you have to use what's called non-recourse funding. And I put together a complete list of the nation's non-recourse lenders, right? This is for your IRA buyers if they want to borrow some money and put some cash down, right? So step number 10, this is the final step right here. This is to automate the process, right? System works for you even when you don't. It trains employees, teach a spouse or partner, get your teenagers involved. You can hire a VA, a virtual assistant, for virtually nothing to do all the work for you. We actually have 2 VAs. We have Jan and Donna. Donna is our virtual lead manager. Jan is our virtual marketing manager. Jan markets all of our properties, every single one of our properties. She puts it on the website. She puts it on Facebook, puts it on Craigslist, and all the other marketing that you saw before that we talked about, right? And Donna organizes our leads as they come in when the phone rings, okay? And she assigns them out to Michael or me or whoever needs the lead. And by the way, I have them on Zoom all day long. They're on Zoom, and I have a laptop sitting up on the shelf, and we can literally walk by and see them. They're on the camera just like I am right now. I can walk up and talk to them anytime, okay? A virtual assistant can take calls, make offers, design flyers, build your buyers list, post free ads, answer ads, search for deals, analyze deals. They can run comps for you, set up your entire system. They can literally do anything and everything except something that requires them to be there in person. Real estate day trading mastery recruits, trains, motivates, and manages. You can literally set it and forget it. Run your business from anywhere. There's no special computer skills needed. What about a free personal assistant that follows up weekly with all your sellers, builds your dream team for you, finds properties for you every week, does it all automatically and never complains or misses a deal? This is my autoresponder program. What I have done is I've created 12 months of professionally pre-written, pre-scripted text, email, and ringless voicemail scripts to automatically follow up. Remember I told you earlier, when you start mailing people or start marketing, you're going to have people come out of the woodwork in 3 months, 6 months, 12 months down the road. That's because your autoresponders are automatically following up with them every month to see if they've changed their mind or still want to sell their property, right? So it's an automated follow-up with sellers, buyers by text, email, and RVM. It literally builds your dream team for you, gets you more deals, sells your deals, builds relationships, and does it all automatically. So let's look at some recent closings. Here's one right here in Mooresboro. This little house I paid $12,000 for. I renegotiated it to $3,000 and I sold it for $15,000. You know what's funny about this deal is the one I just told you about earlier for $10,000 seller financing that we're selling for $20,000 with 10 down. It's literally right beside this house. Different seller, but literally right beside this house on the opposite corner. So we sold it for 5 times what we paid, right? We made a total of $11,900 profit. This is a little house here in Lincolnton. Original price was $12,000. We negotiated it for $7,500. We sold it for $20,000. We made $12,400. Don't think we renegotiate every one, right? We don't. Here's one we did not. We bought this one for $15,000 and we sold it for $49,900. We made $35,000 on this deal. Here's one in Catawba. This is a little double wide on a couple of acres. We paid $22,500 for it. We sold it for $50,000. We made $27,400 on this deal. And the sellers inherited it, right? They had nothing in it. This is a house that was on Main Street in Grover, North Carolina. And we bought it for $25,000 and we sold it for $50,000. We doubled our money on this one. This one's in Lancaster. This was a package of 6 houses, $30,000. I sold it for $55,000 for 6 houses. Right after my buyer bought it, one of the tenants caught one of the houses on fire and the insurance almost paid them what they had in the whole deal, right? This is a house we bought for $75,000. We turned around and sold it for, or excuse me, we renegotiated it to $50,000 and we sold it for $89,900. $89,900. We made $40,000 profit on this house. Here's one that we did with 100% owner financing. We bought it for $82,000. I really needed to be at around $60,000 on this property, $60,000 for a cash sale, but the seller was stuck at $82,000. So I told him I could pay $82,000 if he would sell or finance it, and he inherited it. He had nothing in it, so he did, right? So we bought it for $82,000. We advertised at $99,900 with $20,000 down, and the buyer put $20,000 down. $17,900 went to us. A couple thousand more went to closing costs, right? Win-win-win for everybody. This is Thomas. Thomas says, I've been purchasing real estate for 3 years. I've made a lot of mistakes and little money. After meeting you, I had 4 properties under contract within 3 weeks. Now, guys, I'm not going to tell you everybody's going to get 4 deals in 3 weeks. That's not going to happen to everybody, okay? They each made me $2,500, $5,250, $7,500, and $12,000. Thank you so much for all the training and help. This is Larry. I purchased your course and bought a property using your system within 4 weeks and sold it 2 weeks later. So within 6 weeks, had his money. I have since bought and sold 5 more houses for a total profit of over $30,000. Your techniques are unlike anything else out there, and they really work. This right here is Walter Cherry. I wanted to personally thank you for your program. With using just one of your many techniques, I was able to walk away from closing with a check for $43,000 net. Does he look happy? This is Donna. I decided to purchase your course. I studied your system and finally put a program into action. I closed my first deal in just 1 week. I have another deal that I expect to close soon, and I now have over 150 buyers on my buyers list. Thank you, Larry, for providing me the tools and inspiring me to launch my real estate career. This is Ricky. I just closed my first day trading deal. Your course is all inclusive. I was able to analyze the property, make a quick offer that was accepted after some negotiating. I had available to me all the necessary paperwork to send to the closing attorney, which made his job very easy. I'm currently working on 2 more deals, looking forward to a long and prosperous relationship. That's awesome. Okay, this is Brandon and Jennifer. After getting your course, we closed the deal and walked away with a check for $18,100. Thank you so much for your wonderful information, and your program has truly changed our lives. This is Layla. I purchased your system about a month ago and recently closed on a wholesale deal in Baltimore. A month ago. This was a day trading deal, so I did not actually purchase the house, but I do have the documentation showing the assignment to the new buyer. Thank you, Larry, for teaching me how simple this process is and helping me put $6,000 in my pocket. Eric and Tammy, first we want to thank God for providing this deal and giving us the ability to close it in 20 days. Second, we would like to thank you and your team for providing us with the knowledge and support to make this deal close. Yep, we'll help you. We're not going to coach you and mentor you. It's not coaching and mentoring, but we'll answer your questions and give you all the support that you need, okay? We put this property under contract for $1, right? They're better than I am. They put down 10% of what I put down, or 1% of what I put down. We offered this deal to one of our end buyers for a $4,000 profit. You have changed my life, and wherever I go, I let people know that you can change theirs too, Eric and Tammy. So, Real Estate Day Trading Mastery, it is a complete step-by-step home study course that anybody can make money with, and you can get started right away. You're going to get my step-by-step training manual, right? You're going to get my full-length audio of the manual, okay? Whatever you read, you can listen to as well. You're going to get all my forms and documents. It's not hundreds of forms and documents. It's just what you need, okay? That's it. Just what you need and nothing more, okay? So you get my live calls with sellers, my live seller finance calls, my live renegotiating calls, and I've transcribed every one of them for you too, so you can listen and read and highlight if you want to, right? So you get my fix and flip property analyzer, you get my rental property analyzer, and you get video tutorials walking you through. Most of these tutorials are 5 to 10 minutes long. It's not like it's an hour-long thing. It's very short to get you up and running. You get my complete set of 10 scripts. You're probably thinking, why in the world do I need 10 scripts? Well, you need a seller voicemail script, a buyer voicemail script. You need what do you call that? A answering service script if you use one of those for buyers, an answering service script for sellers. You need my one call set and close script. You need all these scripts to get your business set up and running, okay? But the one you're going to use most is my one call set and close script. And then my complete set of proven postcards, all the postcards that I mail out. And you're going to get my one-page offer contract and my step-by-step action plan. The thing I love about the action plan is anybody can get started, but not everybody finishes. I got a system in place for that. And it's not just read this, listen to this, watch this. It's an implementation action plan. So when you get down to the bottom of the action plan, right? When you get down to the bottom, you're actually doing deals, okay? So total real world value is $13,350. Today, $997 for the first 12 action takers, first 12 people, right? And this is the business I created that I'd tried to find for years. I tried to find this, but I created it on my own. I didn't invent wholesaling. I didn't invent real estate day trading. I just feel like I perfected it and simplified it as much as possible, right? It's exactly what we do and how we do it in our business right now. It's the ideal work from home opportunity. If you're at home, if you don't want to go out, you don't want to have to visit people, meet with realtors, have realtors show you property, or meet with sellers or buyers, you can do it all right over the phone, okay? Remember, phone, email, and internet. That's it, right? So you can go right now order risk-free, 100% satisfaction guarantee. Just go to realestateDayTrading.com/VIP. And I've got some things on that page that will help you to understand what all's included. It'll show you a list of everything that's included, everything you're going to get, and everything you're going to learn, okay? You can also call one of my guys out here, Ron or Dean. They're out here. They're out here waiting for you to call. You can call them toll free, 888-212-6567. That's toll free, 888-212-6567. Okay, toll free. Now, but wait, there's more. Okay, I've got a special bonus package. Okay. For the first 12 action takers, I've got a bonus package, okay? Number one, remember I mentioned my transaction funding directory? This is gonna get you all the funding you need if you cannot assign a contract. If you're buying a HUD house, an MLS house, a bank-owned foreclosure, or a house that you have to double close on and cannot assign, let's say you get a deal that you get a $30,000 wholesale fee or a day trading profit. You don't wanna assign that contract because it's gonna freak out your seller and they're gonna cancel the deal. So you have to double close on that. You need transaction funding. You're going to get my free proof of funds letter. No application, no credit check, make cash offers, use it for sale by owners, realtors, and banks. You're going to get my hard money lender directory because some deals, your buyers may not have all the money to buy your property. So you want to put them in touch with local hard money lenders. And this is my nation's directory of hard money lenders that you can set them up with to be able to fund your deal to get paid. You're going to get a free one-on-one consultation for asset protection and entity structuring to go over tax strategies, tax planning, entity structuring, asset protection, and more. It's a one-on-one consultation valued at $150. You're going to get my complete directory of the nation's MLS associations. As the market starts to turn, which it already has, as the market starts to turn, you're going to be buying more properties off the MLS. So what you want to do is reach out to the local MLS associations, right? And you're going to get added to my VIP buyers list. You're going to get advanced notifications of my wholesale properties when they come available. Now, other VIP buyers to get added to our list, we make them put up a $1,000 deposit. You won't have to do that. We'll add you to our buyers list so you get notification of our properties, okay? And as I mentioned, others put up a $1,000 deposit, but you're going to get it. You get my complete list of the nation's non-recourse lenders. These are the ones that you're going to use when you're selling your properties to people who have an IRA or if you want to buy properties in your IRA. You're also going to get free startup instructions. You're going to get a free call with startup instructions, and we're going to call you. I'm not just a hit and run salesman here. I'm not, thank you that we're done. It's not like that at all. We're going to help you and work with you to get you up and running, okay? So the best part is we're going to call you, okay? We're going to call you. And Dean or Ron, some of you guys have talked to them on the phone before. They're from my office. They're right outside the door there. They're going to call you with startup instructions. In fact, as an extra bonus, I'm going to assign one of them to call you every couple of weeks to try to help keep you on track, okay? I'm gonna get one of them to call you, to follow up with you and check in on you and see how you're doing and kind of hold you accountable, okay? So that's an extra bonus that I have never offered in the past, okay? Now you're gonna get free 24 months of free unlimited support, okay? Oh, my battery's about dead here. I gotta plug this thing in. I didn't know it wasn't plugged in. There we go. So you're going to get 24 months of free unlimited support from me and my team, right? So that's 24 months of personal support. Next, you're going to get free lifetime updates. Anytime I make an update, I'm not going to mail you a CD or DVD or manual. In fact, all of this is delivered. You're going to have a membership login, and you'll be able to share it with your VA or your spouse or your teenager or your partner or whatever, but you'll be able to access it whether at home or at the office or on the road or on vacation. You'll be able to access it from anywhere. We don't mail out CDs and DVDs. We stopped doing that a while back when people started, they would pick up a CD and go, what do I do with this, right? So people just don't use that anymore. So it's all going to be delivered to you digitally, and we're going to give you lifetime updates. You're going to also get every possible way to close and fund a deal without any of your own money or credit, okay? You're going to get my done for you direct mail system with my postcards. These are my postcards that I use in my business, okay? And a special bonus package for the first 12 action takers. Total value is $7,100. Total value with all the bonuses is over 20 grand for everything. But first 12 people, $997. As I mentioned, here's everything you're going to get again. Should you call it lazy boy investing? I love it. That's awesome. Did so much, I sure did. I have done a lot of work to set this up, right? I've done a lot of work to set this up, and it's the system that I'd sought for years, and I finally put it together. And once I put it together, I'm like, I got to package this because this is what people need. I've seen so many people buying course after course after course and never do anything, right? So here's a list of all the bonuses that you get: the day funding directory, proof of funds letter, hard money directory, one-on-one consultation, MLS directory, VIP buyers list, non-recourse lender directory, startup instructions, 24 months of personal support, lifetime updates, every possible way to fund and close, and done for you direct mail. $997 includes all of the bonuses. You can order risk-free at realestateDayTrading.com/VIP. Now, I got a couple more things I got to share with you guys, and then we're going to do some Q&A, okay? So you can call toll-free 888-212-6567. Ron or Dean will answer the phone, and they'll answer any questions you have. But let me tell you about my exclusive reverse the risk guarantee. My reverse the risk guarantee. I want to be the one to take all of the risk here. I don't have a 30-day. I don't have a 60-day. I don't have a 90-day. I've got a 24-month, $24,000 guarantee, right? All I'm asking you to do is simply give it a try. Just go through the action plan. You will be successful. Remember, the action plan, it's not just read this, listen to this, watch that. It's an implementation action plan. And you will be successful. If you're not, just simply ask for a refund, and you can keep all the bonuses absolutely free as my gift to you. It's the reverse the risk guarantee, because I want to be the one to take all the risk. It's more than a guarantee. It's a personal promise from me, okay? Now, I really like this quote. It's in your moments of decision that your destiny is shaped. That's so true. In today's market right now, and you guys should know that, I mean, this is live, right? Your only job security is in your ability to make money. I want you to think about that right quick. In today's market, your only job security is in your ability to make money. You're just one deal away. You are just one deal away. One deal. That's it. That's it. Just give it a try. Just give it a try. Order risk-free at realestateDayTrading.com/VIP, or call Ron or Dean, 888-212-6567. Jot that down. Jot that website and phone number down. Now, I'm going to leave it there for a minute, and then I'm going to tell you how to get your real estate day trading mastery for free. Absolutely free. I told you at the beginning I would tell you how to do it. So, here we go. Can you guys still hear me? Can you guys still hear me? Somebody said the sound went out. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, good, 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 good. All right, so how to get your real estate day trading mastery for free. I have not one, but 8 different ways to get everything absolutely free, okay? Here's the way it works. When you make your deposit, and I call it a deposit, I've got the sheet in there called Read This First, okay? I want you to go through it and read it first. Tells you all the benefits, tells you everything. I want you to look at that sheet, because on that sheet, I'm going to give you 8 ways to get everything for free. You don't have to do all 8. You just have to do 1 of 8, and I'm going to refund your $9.97 deposit. I even call it a deposit. So number 1, bird dog a house for me. Just go find me a deal. That's all you got to do. Just find me a deal. That's it. No, or number 2, become one of my private lenders. Now, I don't use a lot of private lenders, but I do occasionally for like an ESA or HSA account that we're flipping houses in. Or buy a wholesale house from us, buy a house from me, or sell me a house, or number 5, refer 3 new real estate day trading mastery customers that aren't on this webinar, or 6, close 3 loans using our private money, or 7, join our partner program where we actually partner on deals, or number 8, day trade a property and send me a testimonial. That's the 8 different ways you can, and it's all in writing on your read this first sheet, okay? It's all in writing, right? Okay, I'm getting ready to do some Q&A here in just a minute. So keep the questions coming. I'm gonna answer as many of your questions as I can, okay? So you either use the 24-month, $24,000 guarantee or the 8 ways to get your course free. Either way, so whether you close a deal or not, you're gonna get a refund, right? Whether you close a deal or not, you're gonna get a refund. That is my exclusive reverse the risk guarantee, and I put it in writing on your read this first sheet in the training. Once again, there's everything you're gonna get. There's a list of all that at the website. Now you can order risk-free, realestateDayTrading.com/VIP, or call toll-free 888-212-6567. I'm going to go through and answer a lot of these questions here, and I'm just going to kind of breeze through them. Let's see. I thought you said you day trade in other locations without meeting face-to-face. We do. I don't ever go to the house. I mean, occasionally I might go out on a field day if I want to, but I don't. We have other people that do it, so I don't have to do that. I've done deals in 12 different states, but I focus on 7 counties, 2 counties out from the MSA. Do you still do HUD homes? If so, how quickly do you close these houses? Do you just remarket them to your buyers list? So with HUD houses, right now, there aren't a lot of HUD houses out there, right? I mean, I remember a time when there was 150 or 200 in North Carolina and another 150 or 200 in South Carolina. Right now, there's about 20 to 40 on any given day. There's not enough HUD houses available to get a lot of volume. Like I like to do volume, right? So yeah, if you wanted to buy maybe 1 deal every few months, you could market the whole state of North Carolina and the whole state of South Carolina. You might get that, but I can't get 5, 10, 15 deals a month, right? I'd have to be in about 20 or 30 different states to do that. So let's see, what else? Just purchased Filthy Riches. Both are virtual trading. Filthy Riches is a model with seller financing. Real estate day trading is basically wholesaling, buying, selling. Filthy Riches is long-term cash flow. Real estate day trading is instant cash, right? Thank you, great presentation, awesome. The key is to be able to sell the property or the contract. You're selling contracts, that's what you're doing. You're basically selling contracts, right? Being away, how do you determine what you will be able to sell the property for? With your due diligence, Gabriel, you run comps, right? Franchise opportunity, I don't know. I mean, you know, I've had people ask me about that, but I don't think it's something I'm really interested in. I like doing real estate deals too much to deal with franchise stuff. Do you buy through agents or only directly from sellers? I think you meant, Gabriel. I buy primarily directly through sellers. I do have a house right now that I'm buying that's listed on the MLS, but the seller contacted me direct. It's listed for $99,900. I bought it for $50,000, and it's got several acres, a big workshop, and a pond on the property, and I bought it for 50% of list price. Hi from St. Louis, Dave Lee, what's up? Please repeat source for neighborhood. I did that. Let's see, picture sold comps, just hard to write fast enough. I hear you. Yes, and I have to get one of those hats. Oh, you like that hat? It is a Barma, B-A-R-M-A-H. I love it too. I have 2 of them. So let's see here. What other questions do we have? Do you have to get insurance on the home that needs to be torn down? Or if it's in that bad a shape, is it even insurable? I don't get insurance because I'm not going to own it overnight. All right. I'm day trading. I'm buying it at 10 o'clock and selling it at 10:30. So I don't need insurance, right? In a hotel deal, how do you explain or tell the seller that you'll be selling the house on the MLS? How do you sell a lot with a tear down? I was offered one for $1,000. Okay, in the hotel deal, in our 1-page standard real estate offer to purchase, it says that we can market the property including on the MLS. So I don't have to tell the seller anything. It's in there and it's in writing. As far as a tear down with for $1,000, we buy tear downs. I've got one under contract right now for $8,000. I didn't realize it's a tear down, but later into it, we found out that it's a tear down. So we're going to go back and renegotiate it for probably $1,000. But you'll just find a buyer that'll pay you 5 to 10 for it. Do you ever get stuck with a property and have to renovate and then sell? Paul, you don't get stuck if you don't close on it until you find a buyer. That's the key right there, right? It's called day trading. Okay, you have to find someone that you would trust with showing pictures. How do you find that person? And I wish we could go, Alex, into a whole detail on that, but I've got very specific things that we look for and the ways that we market to find these people. And we find people who are money motivated and or want to learn how to invest in real estate. You need somebody to show properties. Yes, that's your boots on the ground. Let's see here. Yep, you make your money when you buy and you realize it on the sale. Let's see here. Am I going to go over how to find the leads? Yep, we talked a little bit about that. What percentage of your deals close? 50%, I said. Let's see here. I've got some more questions that came in since I scrolled up. Are you looking for boots on the ground in New Jersey? Nope. So I got all I can handle here. Pick a market question. Would you go about 60 miles to 120 or 120 miles out when picking a small market? Because 2 counties that can be pretty far or real close depending on location. You know, Candace went out to a property yesterday that was 92 miles away. So we try to stay within about an hour and a half. That's about 100 miles, right? Is the main difference between wholesaling and real estate day trading that you cannot assign the contract? Wholesaling is real estate day trading. It's just the way I do it, right? There's a lot of people that wholesale, but I took wholesaling to a whole nother level with different types of properties, different types of markets going out. And the way we do it over the phone, get it tied up in 2 hours, our script, our close, our buying it over the phone. It's basically the mechanics is wholesaling. I just do it as a real estate day trader and have tweaked it and perfected it over the years so we could do it all virtually and with the least amount of resistance. Are you repeating this webinar? If it recorded, we're probably going to send out a replay. So let's see here. I don't know if it's recording or not. Let me see. Yep, it looks like it's recording. So, whoops, what did I do? I don't know what I did here. Can you guys still see my screen? My slide? Okay, why do you need transactional funding if it is one-day transaction? All we need is cash buyers on the contract. Maurice, that's only if you are not assigning the contract. If you have to physically close and then resell, you'll need transactional funding, right? For like a HUD house or an MLS house, or you have to do one of the other techniques I showed you, like creating a trust and selling the beneficial interest, or creating an LLC and selling shares. How do you find out if the market is flat versus appreciating or depreciating? It's the economy when the market goes up. It's really, I wouldn't get too caught up, Katrina, in paralysis of analysis, but you don't want to be in a market like Phoenix, Las Vegas, Orlando, or LA, or, you know, Orange County, California. You don't want to be in markets like that, okay? Okay, let me go over here to the Q&A side. is this all sent by email or is it hard copy? It's all a login. It's a membership. Once you finish your purchase at realestateDayTrading.com/VIP, you're going to get an email with your login credentials, and you can log in and start learning right now in the next 10 minutes. And if you listen, those of you who are taking advantage of this, I want to make sure that you start going through it right away so we can get you on that startup instructions and we can get you rolling so you can get some properties coming in. Because I'd like to see you get some deals closed like some of those other students you saw in the next 2 to 4 weeks, okay? How can I find where properties are selling for less than 100,000? In the training, I show you where to go to run those analysis for picking your market. And there's some websites out there that you can go to that will show you the median price homes. Great info. How do 50% of the deals not close? Great question, Ron. Some of them we don't want. Some of them we can't renegotiate. Some of them the seller backs out. And some of them have title issues and we can't get clear title. So that's all the different reasons right there. Some of them don't close. What are the reasons for renegotiating? Jane, typically the reason is going to be that I'm paying too much for the property, okay? I'm paying too much for it for some reason. Maybe the seller, like Candace just called me today and she went down to look at a property and, or the property she went and looked at yesterday that was 92 miles away. The seller told us it was a 10 out of 10, which is one of the questions in our script. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being, you know, it's absolutely fabulous where a picky buyer would have nothing to complain about, what would you rate the interior of the house? And this seller said a 10. Right? And she said, there's trash everywhere. There's one room that's not even livable right now. So obviously the seller does not know this, but we've got all the pictures to back up and we can go in and renegotiate the property. So I hope that helped, Jane. Can we get a copy of this meeting so we can review? I'm going to send out a replay. Let's see. How do you find if a market is flat appreciation? There's websites in the training. I can't think of them off the top of my head. How much should an investor pay a setter to do sets? You can pay a VA anywhere from like $3 to $7 an hour, or you can bring in a person that you're training to do acquisitions and have them start as a setter and work their way up to a closer. However, they should be able to be closing their own deals in 90 days. If they're not, you're going to have to look and see what you're doing wrong or what they're doing wrong. And you need, if you're going to pay them based on an acquisition manager, you need to get them up and running and on their own 2 feet and doing their own deals. Otherwise, you're just paying them to create more work for you, right? Which is fine to start out with, but you got to get them up and running, right? Let's see. Larry, your slogan previously was stash cash for the crash. Do you think this is the crash that will bring real estate prices back down across the board, or just in areas where appreciation got out of hand? Jason, that's a great question. Here's what I think. I think you're going to see it slowly start going down, and then you're going to see it move a little bit, but this is not the crash. In my opinion, I could be wrong. I don't think this is the crash. I think the crash is going to come next year, okay? But it's not going to be like it was in 2008. But what do I know? We're in a black swan situation right now. A black swan is when something comes out of the blue, nobody had any way of knowing, that creates something like the coronavirus has, right? Why do I close on Friday? I just like Fridays. It's a great day to end of the week and you have 1 or 2 or 3 closings. I just love it. Plus, you can always tell your buyer, can you close Friday? Can you close Friday? You got to be able to close Friday. Are you a cash buyer? We need to close Friday. Do I have a recommended nationwide lender? Yes, they're in the directory. They're all in the directory that I shared with you. Now, some of them will work nationwide and some of them are in specific states, but you got to get that directory to find all of them. We did a lot of research to put that together. Let's see here if we have any more questions. I think that's all the questions I see. Guys, I do have a, oh, I know what I did. I do have a few of these left. We don't have all 12 of them quite yet. So if you want to take advantage of this, go over to realestateDayTrading.com/VIP or call toll free 888-212 6567. And, you know, talk to Ron, talk to Dean. They'll answer all your questions for you. If you go to that website, you'll see there's a lot of good detailed information. The guarantees there, the 8 ways to get your course fee refunded, a list of all the bonuses and everything. If your order goes through, you will get the bonuses, okay? Alex, is the contract legal in all states? Great, great question, Alex. As far as I know, it is. However, just like any other paperwork that you would use and get from somebody else, whether it's LegalZoom or anybody, you want to run it by your own local investor-friendly attorney. And we talk about what to do and how to do that in the training, show you what to do. So you want to get that set up and have your local attorney, you know, take a look at it. Now, here's just to kind of build on that a little bit, Alex. You're not asking your attorney, hey, can I use this? You know, because I had some students come, I had one student, let me put it that way. Had one student come back from the Northeast and said, you know, my attorney said nobody in the Northeast is ever going to sign this. It might work in the South, but it's not going to work up here. Well, guess what? Since then, he's closed 3 deals with my contract, right? So you're not going to ask them whether it will work or they, you know, anybody will sign it. What you want to find out is there anything illegal in this, you know, for this state? And is there anything else I need to add to it to make it legal for this state, right? So I hope that helps. Larry, how much would you need to have for marketing cost each month? Great, great question, Jason. I recommend about $1,000 a month. Not everybody has $1,000 a month. If you don't, you're going to spend, see, that's the reason I have 76 different ways to market, because some of them require money, some of them require time. If you have more time than money, you're going to do these. If you have more money than time, you're going to do these, okay? So let's see. Thanks for everything. By the way, we met at LAX Hotel in 2010. Alex, hey, 2010. Wow, that's a long time ago. I'm not even traveling and speaking anymore. I quit doing that so I can stay in the office and do deals. So let's see here. Anybody else have any questions before we go? Any questions? Did you guys get a lot out of this? Was this informative? Was it educational? Let me know. Let me know what your thoughts were. Yes, yes. Always very informative. Thank you, Larry. I need a hat like that. Barma. Barma is the hat company. Great. Yes. Great breakdown of the business. It is our business. It's what we do. We use this system in our business. Awesome. Good. Well, thank you guys for watching. I really, really, really appreciate it. Thank you for being on. We do have a couple left. So go to realestateDayTrading.com/VIP. Check out all the bonuses. Check out the guarantee. Check out the 8 different ways to get your course fee refunded. And you could also call and speak with Ron or Dean at 888-212-6567. So with that, I'm going to get back on the phone and try to buy a house today because I hadn't bought one yet today. So with that, thank you guys very much. I really appreciate you being on. And I'm going to go out here and buy a property. So thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for being on. I really appreciate all you. It means a lot to me. I really hope you got a lot out of this and you go out there and make it happen. And for those of you who just took advantage by going to the website or calling toll free, I want you to know I got a couple extra special bonuses for you that you didn't even know you were going to get. And you're going to be blown away when you log in and start seeing everything. It's going to literally blow you away. And I know you bought courses before, but I got to tell you, this time it's going to be different. We're going to be working with you. We've got a vested interest in your success. We want to buy houses from you, sell houses to you, fund your deals for you. We want to work with you. Yeah, we're going to make a few bucks when you invest in the training, but you're going to get that back anyway because we're both going to make more money when we end up doing business together. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And thank you so much for being on. With that, thanks a lot. You guys have a great rest of the day. Go out and buy a house today. That's my goal. See you later.